So let's see what I can do with my broken fender here today. It's yeah, I mean it's a bit of a disaster. But here's something I found on the side of the road a couple weeks ago that I just stuck in my pile of stuff. And that's right, a yellow gas can. Now, that's probably an expensive can, but it didn't cost me anything, and it's kind of the same shade as that, so I think I can cut that up and use, oh, there's embossed everything, words, diesel, all that stuff embossed on it, but maybe the other side. Let's take a look. Yeah. Oh, but the inside will be smooth, so I can cut this one up and use it for patches, I think, and try plastic welding. Now, there's some cracks. I don't know if we can see. Yeah, okay, so say this crack here. I'm going to try welding that up first from the inside and just see if I can do this. I've never tried this before. I'm going to get the soldering iron out and give that a whirl. And because it's under the fender, no one's going to see the gobs of plastic. And if I need to use filler rod, I'm just going to use zip ties. So let's give this a whirl, see what happens. Alright, let's get on this. Alright, I've got this old iron, this old soldering iron I picked up at the auction for probably $3, maybe less. And it's getting good and hot, so let's give it a whirl for the first time ever. So let's see if I lay that flat part down and just sort of spread it out now. Alright, and just for fun, I want to try putting in some filler rod and see if that actually works. Not sure how well you'll see this. I'll do it up here. Just a zip tie. I suspect this takes a little bit of practice. It takes a special touch. But I think once the method is figured out here, this is going to be a valuable little lesson. Because yeah, that filled that crack in quite nicely actually, and then later I think it could be sanded. Maybe with the grinder with the fiber disc on it. It melts really quick now. Oh yeah. Alright, I'm just going to roll in a little tighter on that so you can see what I'm up to. Yeah. Okay. Just smoothing it out. I wish I had a steadier hand, but... And this will add strength on this side too, because the plastic is melting together from one side to the other. Oops, didn't really need to go up there. I think that'll work. Might as well smooth it out. Alright, I don't know if this plastic will like cut. Probably not. But I'm going to have to be scraping this anyway to get that residue off. So let's just try it right into the old plastic. Maybe it'll... not so great. But not so bad. Alright, so it's not perfect. It's not something that you're going to try to pass off as a replaced or a new fender or replacement fender, but probably shouldn't point the blade at my hand. Probably why I have 13 stitches in that one. Alright. Not too much. Alright, well, you know what? That feels strong. I can pick away in there with this knife and get all that black out, I suppose, if I really wanted to, but I don't really want to. Okay, perfect. Now I can stitch it there and then work both sides. Thank you very much.
And the twist ties are working out well?
Yes, yeah. Where I'm adding plastic, like that's adding plastic there. So I didn't bother adding any in there, but you know, you sit there going like that and it just melts both sides. But yeah, I could actually throw some filler rod in there. Nice, I think that's nice. Okay. I was just sort of experimenting with smoothing it out. I don't really have to do that. I would think it's going to add a little more strength though. Alright, see if I can get a shot of that without knocking every single thing off my workbench. Okay, so I'm going to zoom on in there a little bit. There's the crack I just welded. I haven't cleaned all the way around it like I did that one yet, obviously, but you get the gist of it. I think it's good. I think it's good. We'll know when we hit our first obstacle, and if the whole thing smashes again in the same spot, well then, I didn't do it right. Already on break, eh? I'll just do a little more. Filming, because I'm probably not going to be able to use any of that.
I thought you were telling me. I'm like, really?
Yeah, get on it. Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to so kick your ass, mister. Okay, but I have a piece. I thought maybe you wanted to melt it down.
No.
Thank you.
There you go.
Am I doing this right?
Looks fine to me. It's yeah.
Like, am I not?
Well, it's because we're still gonna be able to polish it afterwards. Okay. So all of those scratches will go away because that's what happened up there. You don't have any scratches. No, because I used that scratch and swirl remover on the polisher.
But I can't get this little bits to go away.
Well, you just did. How about?
Well, not really. It does, and I'm afraid I'm going to gouge too much, and then you're going to yell at me, and
probably.
We're going to be in a fight, and you won't talk to me for 3 days,
right?
Because I'm useless. Don't you know how to?
Because this tiny little spot on the headlight cover isn't perfect.
Right. The stress I go through with you.
We'll get used to it.
Or something other than a gas can.
Right. There, if anyone's interested what the inside of a gas can looks like when the lid's on and spout, that's what it looks like. Alright, I'm thinking of cutting this out in a bit of a nicer shape, but I really don't have to. I mean, there's cracks and things all around it, so really making this a nice round shape isn't going to really improve the situation any. So I might as well, I think what I might do is put a piece of cardboard under there and just trace it out with a marker and then lay it over over the piece of plastic I got. Hopefully this will be flexible enough when I get these corners cut off, because I'd really like to use the inside that's smooth, and got to use the outside. Well, that's all where the embossed warnings and everything are, so I don't really like that. All right, we can do it in kind of 2 phases. One phase, 2 phases. Oh, I'm gonna get it all the way around. Here we go. That looks pretty good. Let's cut it out and see how I did. There's a disaster. Just trace it on, okay? All right. Holy, how do I get so much stuff out so fast? All right, I think that'll work. I've got it generally in shape. I think if I tack it in a couple of places, I should be able to pull that all together. Okay. All right, well that's going to be the gist of it. I mean, it's the only clean part on here. I got to clean the whole fender, but the yellow is actually not too bad a match if I get the light just right. It's not going to be all that bad. So yes, obviously it's been patched, but it's there again, and maybe that little bit of mud that's going to fling up, it's going to hit the fender instead of, you know, someone in the face. So now, oh yeah, I got to figure out how to do this bottom part. All right, well let's see what it looks like on the machine so far. All right, voila, not so bad. Still got to clean the whole fender so it matches the repair, but way better than it was. It looks a little Frankensteinish, but heck, it's there and it's strong again. It's gonna, you know, put up with a little bit of abuse. Wow, that's the right curve in there. Actually, it looks better. It looks better like that with the curve underneath than the other side that doesn't have that. I might just screw that on, since it fits so nice. Like that. See, this is the Fender repair.
Right.
And then this is a piece I just have left over, but look, I'll just screw that on down here. Like it fits the curve perfectly.
It does.
Yeah, so I'm just going to cut it on the black line and screw it on. All right, we got a funky marble looking front fender, and we got a super shiny, clean, all yellow headlight. It's almost done.
I have a little bit more to do.
Yep, but I mean, really, how much more can you do before you get bored of that nonsense?
Well, I'm already bored, but that's bothering me, so
No doubt, yeah.
I can't leave the job unfinished.
I know. Right now, I just want to make it presentable, you know, in case the queen stops by. It's good. So there's more scrap plastic available to me from this old gas can, and I was thinking that, you know, maybe make my new bit over here that I bolted on, make that match this side with another piece, you know, kind of cut off the original and fashion in a new piece. Not necessarily this piece, I'd have to pull it off that side of the gas can. But then I was looking at that gas can, I thought, well, maybe there's enough plastic on there that I can, you know, build myself an extension for this fender. Or maybe even flip the fender around and, you know, experiment, and maybe then that lip won't be right down on the tire. Maybe it'll, you know, stick out there, and on the front, you know, there's enough there to drill a couple holes in, and on the front, you know, fashion myself up a fender out of that gas can that, well, that would have looked cool, eh? Like the wing look, but I've got this one all. Yeah, I can't use that now, but probably get the heat gun on this and curve it a little bit better in this spot. Yeah, I'll curve that up. I probably won't bother. Oh, yeah, doesn't that come off way better than the headlight? Too bad the headlight's smashed. Looks like it took a bullet. It did. Someone's hit that with a BB. Oh, dumb kids. Or a pellet. That's out of a pellet gun. Dumbasses. Wonder what else got shot on this thing when they were goofing around. All right. I forgot a guy was coming today.
What? Free that again?
I'm just gonna send a thumbs up first. No worry. Supposed to be I come 4, but late your reply. It okay 6 p.m. This is gonna be a fucking headache. Yeah. So now it's time to try welding up the plastic pulley for the recoil, but I don't think this is going to be really a wise thing to do. This isn't like a body panel that's thick plastic. This is really thin, but I mean, I'll try it, and but I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to get a new one or hook a battery up to the starter and just push a button and start it that way. But let's go this route first. Let's see what I can do here.
Oh, respond. Okie donkey.
Honky donkey.
Okie donkey.
All right, so I got the rope all out and loose. Oh, that's working. Good. This is a different type of plastic. Some kind of hardened stuff. It doesn't really melt the way the Fender did. It just sort of disappears. I'll just add a little bit more just so you see how it goes. So you just melt it in there. And then you got a little bit of plastic in there. You just sort of keep adding it and spread it out. And then it gets down into that crack. And it hardens when it's cold. And I think it's going to be fixed. Flick that aside. I think that's going to be fixed.
You always figure it out, babe.
And then if I don't, I just buy a new one. All right, let's see how true it spins now. I'm thinking that's good. I think we should slap this back on the motor and pull it over. All right, here's my handiwork. I hit the tire. Okay, that should be banged on nice and tight. See how to pull over. I'll pull it out slow. Well, the rope's pulling back in. That was my issue before.
Yep, and you can hear a little bit of a wanting to go.
It's got compression. All right, let's take a look and see what's inside this air box. Well, there's a filter strapped on with tire wraps. All right, so here's your air inlet tube coming down into the air box. It's supposed to go through the filter and then into the carburetor there. Now maybe this is kind of a thing. Oh, I see. Yeah. It does snap down into place. I just have to figure out how. But there is some foam down in here that I want to get out first, so it doesn't get sucked into the carburetor. Anything else floating around down there? Just some dust. That'll blow right on through. How about that? And look, no smoke came pouring out the back. Oh, that's what I was going to do. Check the oil. You really check the oil before you start a new machine. To read up on that. In the meantime, let's get less carbon monoxide in here. All right, time to investigate where the idle screw is on this. I might have to take the carb off actually and clean it out. There might be something stuck in there that needs to be blown out, but hey, she runs, she starts, she has a kill switch. That's probably most important. It's just carbon monoxide. All right, take care. I'm out. Cheers from Ontario.